everybody. Welcome to Bike Tour. We are here with John Baldwin of Gorham Bike and Ski, and he is going to give us a tour of a bike that he has brought down for us today. Hi, John.
Hey, Fred.
Thanks for coming down again.
Thanks for having me again.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Wow, what do you have for us today?
Well, today I brought a Giant Propel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Now this is an aero bike, right? That's what,
for
that's
sure.
what we're calling them.
Yep. This bike's all about cheating the wind. It's a aerodynamic road bike, or aero road bike, as you mentioned.
That's right. So what does that mean? It's got the frame. Let's talk about the frame set. It's an aero frame set. I can see some aerodynamic features going on there. What's the most important thing, do you think?
Well, as you mentioned, the frame design, everything is built around just being aerodynamic. So the down tube, the top tube, seat stays, and the fork blades especially are all just designed to shed wind as quickly as possible with the least amount of resistance.
Right. So I can see that with the chainstay. It looks like a wing.
Yeah.
And I can see the way the down tube is maybe taller, a little bit taller than it is wide.
Yes.
And the front forks too, very, very narrow.
Sure.
And I can see how the rear wheel sort of tucks into the seat tube.
Scalloped beautifully right there into the seat tube for just the closest chainstays you can possibly get.
Well, what about some of the other features about the routing, for example, and how do they get aero with that?
Oh, because of that, and because of the frame design, internally routing the cables is the way to go, and they've done that actually by it being kind of behind the stem, behind the steer tube. So the routing of the cables, instead of being through the front of the head tube, which is on a lot of more traditional road bikes, or even on the older road bikes where it's external and you have bare cables going underneath the down tube. This kind of cuts down on wind resistance as much as possible, goes through the down tube and to the various components that they control.
Yeah, it's very neat. There are no cables around, and gone are the days when you had cables coming out around here. That stopped happening a long time ago. What about components? We got something interesting going on with the brakes. Yeah,
those are especially designed by Giant for this frame. And if you take a look at them, they're pretty close to what you would find on like a rim brake mountain bike, if you were still able to find one nowadays, a new one at least. They're close to like a V-brake, or they're closer to like a miniature V-brake. And they're on the trailing edge of both the forks and the seat stays.
Yeah, sure enough. Look at that. I mean, normally the front brake is on the front of the fork.
Yep.
And this one, it's behind, and that is, I guess, cheating the wind one more time.
Yep, exactly, to decrease wind resistance just a little bit more. And if you have these perfectly dialed in, they should be flush with the fork when not in use, and when you use them, they'll kind of partially go in like that.
Right. Well, it's extraordinary stuff. What about the gearing? Let's talk about that quickly. We've got 11-speed Shimano Ultegra. What's going on with that, do you think?
Exactly. So instead of the older 10-speed, which was around for quite a while, most bikes, especially higher-end road bikes, are 11-speed now.
That's right.
It's still mechanical shifting. There is the I2 out there to be had, but this is mechanical. It's really easy to shift these newer ones because of the amount of mechanical advantage you have with the newer designed pulleys.
More leverage,
right? Exactly. More leverage for your front derailleur and greater mechanical advantage for your rear derailleur.
Easier to shift, more gears to pedal, and then the weight on this is 16 pounds. I mean, this particular bike, it's 16, 15, 18?
It was light enough for the Downies racing team to use it.
Oh, yeah. So that's, that's right. I mean, I always say, I mean, bikes are light, and if you pedal them long enough, they begin to feel heavy. But but this is not the lightest bike around because of the aerodynamic features. Is that fair to say?
I think it is, for sure. And you could make this bike a lot lighter with upgraded wheels,
That's
for sure.
True, yeah.
But yeah, generally aerodynamic bikes aren't typically super light, as light as possible. Climbing road bikes are more so.
That's right, and that's because, the way I understand it, the tubes are bigger, there's more carbon, they're creating these aero shapes. And exactly, I mean, if you put aero wheels on this thing, it would be certainly heavier, but it might be more aero in the sense that the wheels have deeper rims, and maybe you'd have different kinds of tires on it. Sweet looking bike. Now, where can people go to take a look?
Oh, the Giant Propel is available at Gorham Bike and Ski at
yeah.
693 Congress Street in Portland, Maine.
Right on. So we can get down there and take a test ride, even though we know what will happen. Thanks, John. That's great stuff.
Cool. Thank you, Fred.
Thanks, everybody. That was John Baldwin of Gorham Bike and Ski. You can take a look at the Giant Propel at their shop, and you can also learn more about the bike at gorhambikeandski.com. That's all we have today for this bike tour. We'll see you again soon.